in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this a jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad need pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see Modesto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, that make pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number saved, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Putting numbers on the board, like them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet points of God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100 in the bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers.
Something we've only seen less than a handful of times since this franchise was born back in the 90s, and that's Jacksonville hosting in the playoffs as we welcome you to TIAA Bank Field. Today we continue on in Wildcard Weekend with a great AFC matchup between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The battle for the Lamar Hunt Trophy begins as we're underway in this AFC Wildcard game. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go! Hey, hold on. Get the mic. Army. Check 31, check 31. Bang, 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 bang. Listen. Put up. 57. Mike. 61. Match box. Mike. Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety good.
On first down, it's Taylor. And he'll wind up with about 6 up past the 30 to the 31. The game's first play produces 6 yards. Brings up second down.
Brings up second and 4.
6 yards on that last play. Here's second and 4. Jackson. It's complete to Hopkins. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff take a peek, we'll take a break.
Set, ready. 70 ending. Check watch ball. Yo. Mike's 43. Mike's 43. Get your swerve on.
They'll throw on first down to Jackson. Throw left side complete. It's Riley. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down.
At the 50-yard line.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Taylor. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said right down. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Now it's Jackson. And connecting here with DJ Shark. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game.
31's the mic.
From the gun, it's Jackson. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it. They love it because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sidelines thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 7.
Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. On 3rd down, Taylor. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
A 2-yard gain. It's 4th down.
The kick by Lambeau is good. Every possession in the postseason magnified. And look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit. So every point is precious.
This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
At their own 29-yard line.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Here's 2nd and 8. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Taylor. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
On second down now, it's Taylor. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
They haven't made much of this great starting field position they had. Here's 3rd and 6. From the gun, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. It's what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Let's go.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Open man is Ross, complete.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
I hope you brought your reps because I'm about to take you head down. Rush in, rush in, rush in. Twist, twist. Say. Watch twist. Watch the check. $48 to Mike. I'm coming after you.
They'll set up a throw. And that will be incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. And well done here. That one will kick out of bounds at about the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Watch time. Tight end right. Hey, come on. Go, 45, Mike, 45. Here we go.
Throwing now, Jackson on 1st down. And this one into the hands of DJ Shark. And he's taken down, but able to get this up to the 20-yard line. The Jags picking up the 1st down there, a gain of 12.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
So the previous play, a big help, as now they'll have it 1st and 10 up at the 20. First carry now for Jordan Howard. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
At the 24-yard
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Check safety, Joe. Check it back, check it back. 22, check, Bama. 22, check, Bama.
Now Jackson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
Check your hot read. Hey, if you kill it, motion me out.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. Going up top. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The former 2nd-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one good for 33 and a first.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now Joe Mixon trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10. At the Jaguars' 29-yard line.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Second and 10. His throw caught right around the 6. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
On 2nd and goal, one man stands in the backfield, and that's Mixon. Here's a run with Mixon. And he bulls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. No success on 1st down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
This one fielded at the 5. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10.
The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offensive coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe something to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
I'm coming for you, son. 43 is the mic. Blue Dan. Go. 43 is the mic. 43 is the mic. I don't think you got it, son. 43 is the mic.
Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sam Hubbard. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
We said it before the game, and I think it's still apparent. If these guys are going to advance in these playoffs, they're going to have to wreak some havoc coming off the edge.
Yeah, wild card round. They told us the wild card could be that defensive pressure. They showed it there.
Pick it up. 43 is the mic. 43 is the mic. You must be getting tired of seeing me. 43 is the mic. Let's go, defense. Let's go, defense. 43 is the mic. 43 is the mic. Let's get the ball.
Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Sam Hubbard able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Joe Mixon with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. Now the try here for the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6.
Bengals 14, Jaguars 6.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. But they look at...
He's got daylight. 30. 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. 75 yards as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. And coming off a one-play drive that was so deflating for the defense, what's their mentality? How do they rally here and stop this offense?
Well, hopefully there's some determination that sets in because they weren't ready to go on the last one. Give all the credit to the offensive guys for getting it done, but to allow a run of that length, that's just not being prepared. So now, are they determined? Are they ready to read their keys and make the proper plays?
And we'll see how determined they are. And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10.
Mike 50, Mike 50. I know he ain't got it. Hey, Junkie's the mark. Come on, D. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. You can't block me.
They'll look to throw. Got a man open. It's Ross. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross, 54 yards. And the Bengals strike quickly here for 6 points. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was. And if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And they hit the home run last drive. One play on the ground all the way to the house. Now the defense, maybe they're expecting a run here.
Partner, I love your description because when we talk about hitting the home run, we're usually thinking about a passing play, aren't we? Something in the air, deep ball. But how about them just taking it big-time jaunt? Now if you're coming back out, now they've established this run game, the play-action pass could very well be open.
2 minutes to play here in this first half of the NFL playoffs. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl.
31's the mic. Watch the pass. Come on. 31's the mic. Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to haul that one in.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Watch 38. Single, single. 31's the mic. Hey, keep it up. Keep it shut. 31.
Jackson throwing again. Open is Powell. That's complete. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and that'll make it 3rd down. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
Mike, 57.
They run with Taylor. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards.
On the set. 57. 57's right.
The give to Taylor. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson Forced out to his left. He's going to take off with it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Here we go. Right to base. Here we go. Look. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right. Tight on the right. Who's going to pick him?
On first down, they run with Howard. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half. On second down, it's Taylor. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Big stop. Let's go. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Try to do better.
They'll run with Taylor. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Lambeau will put this one through, and that will do it for this first half. So we're at halftime in this AFC Wildcard matchup as we send you a couple hours south of here to Orlando. That's where we check in with a coach and our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. This will be fielded at the 8. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Bengals drive about to get going. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They'll run with Mixon. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
2nd and 1 at the 48-yard line.
The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard.
Kill. Watch out.
And they're going to go jet sweep here. This is Ross with it. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. That one a first down pickup of 8.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Set, ready. Check 9.
Now off here to his running back. A gain of 3, second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff looking right. And he's got some space here. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great effort there. 37 yards. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Sam Hubbard getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Hey, 31's the mic. You got nothing to run. You got nothing.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Geno Atkins providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. That's taken it around the 40. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Crunch. Check 24. Check 24. Zip it. Motion, 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 motion. Motion, motion.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jalen Ramsey with a sack on the corner blitz. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
After another impressive run, the question has to be asked, how do you slow these guys down running the football? I think they're going to try and get more people to the point of attack, try and get more people to the line of scrimmage, almost use a variety of run blitzes in order to try and get it done.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A one-handed catch, that's one thing, but with a defender right there, that was a heck of a play.
It used to be that one-handed catch was instinctive in a game. Now it's a practiced move. They work on it before, after, during practice sessions. It becomes part of their repertoire, and it pays off.
No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. They'll go with the keeper, and he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. It's their quarterback. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Bengals, they widen their lead.
Look, we all know that sometimes we see upsets in the wild card round. But I have to tell you, in this case, I did not see that coming.
I don't think anyone in the stadium saw it coming. You and I were coming in before the game. There was a couple in front of us talking about travel plans for next weekend. They might want to cancel those.
Yeah, I would say so, because right now it's looking more and more like they're going to be one and done. They're probably trying to call the hotel, make sure they get their security deposit back.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Throwing on second and long. Jackson, he's going to float this one deep right side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hey, you got three,
Jackson from the shotgun. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Bengals take over first and 10 at their own 44-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Second and 9 at the 45-yard line.
Again, it's Mixon. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
Joe Mixon on the carry. Tackling at his 48-yard line. A 3-yard gain on the play. Brings up third down.
1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down.
Let's go, D. Both sevens to Mike. Both sevens to Mike. All day.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Check.
From the gun, Jackson looking deep downfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
The open man is Shark. It's complete. And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Looking long for Westbrook. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Now it's Jackson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 4th down, here's Jackson. Being chased out left. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He's going to go deep for Conley. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Chris Conley, 60 yards. And the Jaguars make some inroads here on that deficit.
You've got to understand situational football because they're playing with the lead here late in the ball game. So the back defender has got to be as deep as the deepest receiver. Keep everything in front of you, rally up and make the play.
Yeah, you would think they had the 3-score lead. Now it's down to 2, but 3-score lead here late, that they wouldn't give up a big pass play like that, but they did. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking 1st downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, 1st downs, they can't touch the ball.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here we go on 2nd and 12. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Now the Bengals on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12.
Hey, look, 48. Hey, we don't like the 48 right now. Let's go. Go, go, go.
Back to throw here. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Big hook up there, forced to throw it on third down. The connection's going to keep the drive alive and also keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and from a defensive perspective, didn't get a sack, didn't knock the ball free, didn't break up the pass. The clock keeps running on you. You're in a dire situation now.
There for the tackle, the former Wisconsin Badger, Leon Jacobs. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Here's 2nd and 8. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. Well, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Hey, 50. 50's a must. 50.
He'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 41-yard line. And looking to put this game on ice in the fourth quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up second down. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now third down. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll look to throw. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
Check 4. SOS.
And an alley to run. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive lineman? We're seeing less and less big guys.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, it took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Well, this drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. That one looks like he'll throw here. He finds his running back, Mixon. And here he'll get it down to the 7. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Hey, no, look out. Hey, we got Mike 50, huh? No gain on this defense, no gain. Mike's 50.
He'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. Hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the... And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. They said beginning of the season they wanted to get past the wild card round. Well, they just got past the wild card round.
How about that, being able to put the big check marks up in the locker room, right? Get to the wild card game, check, got that done. Win a wild card game, big check. Now you've got to go ahead and set your sights higher. There is a bigger prize out there, and they still have an opportunity.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we sign off from Jacksonville.